Hello, thank you for coming back to the Temple of Venus. I am your High Priestess, Gwendolyn, and today we're going to talk about the importance of you knowing that you were built to be adored. And I just want to make sure that this video lands to the person that needs it the most. If you're looking for encouragement, if you're looking for just something, a feel good video, this is definitely going to be that. There's something that we all need to remember and not learn or not prove. But because we're in the temple of Venus, who we are is our remembrance. And so we need to remember who we truly are. And once we do, we realize that we are built to be adored. I know that for some of you, even hearing that, there might be some resistance because the world taught us that we're not supposed to be adored, that we're supposed to be useful before we're cherished. And we're supposed to be productive before they can perceive us as something that is precious, that we're always supposed to be self sacrificing, but we are meant to be adored. And just like how we adore children, when children are first, when they turn 1 year old, when they turn, 5 years old, and then we throw them all these lavish birthday parties, you are meant to be adored in the same exact way. So sometimes when we hear that you're meant to be adored, sometimes you can flinch because we're taught that it's wrong. But it is so right that it exposes how long, we've lived without it. I want to talk about what it means to be adored. And keep in mind, I'm not talking about being objectified or consumed or consumption. I'm talking about self love. To be adored is to be received with reverence, to be looked at with care, and to be handled with pure intention. To be valued not just for what you do, but for what you are, and I believe with my whole spirit that there are so many women walking around this earth who have been forgotten and who have also forgotten their own desires, because somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way, we were taught that we had to shapeshift to survive instead of shapeshift to manifest our goddess self. We learned how to be low maintenance. This is why I am really against going out in like all decked out Lululemon. We can dress better than that, ladies. Like, we know how to put some outfits together. But that's my own personal opinion. If you like your Lululemon, then do you. Um, how to be easy for other people, easy so other people can, have what they want to out of this world and not really care about your own well-being. How to be emotionally efficient. How to ask for less. How to shrink what we perceive as beautiful. How to dim our own lights and laugh off disrespect. I think it's normal. We've normalized the concept of self sacrifice and neglecting our own bodies. But a woman who is built to be adored can notice the difference. And she makes sure that by herself, she is nourished. And this is not vanity or arrogance, this is remembrance. Because remember, you're remembering how powerful you are and who you actually are. It is about being in the right relationship with your own sacredness. When something is sacred, it's not rushed. When something is sacred, it's handled with care. When something is sacred, people do not approach it without presence. And I think many women are being called right now for sacred treatments, not just for others, but for ourselves. Because let's be honest, sometimes the first person who stopped adoring us was us. Sometimes when we go to work and we want to stimulate and see how everybody else is doing and blah 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 blah. I think that you just have to live your own life and do the things that make you happy and not really care about what other people think. And I genuinely mean that. And I think the most beautiful thing about like aging, I'm about to be 40 in a couple of months, is that I do not care. Like, I will look as good as I want to look. I will look how I want to look. I will put myself together because I love myself and I love my high vibrational frequency that is attached to that. And I think that, like, for women, we need to get that back. We need to start dressing the way that we want to dress for ourselves. We sometimes speak harshly to ourselves, dress for defeat, You dress for the life that you want. You dress for the job or the career that you want. We wonder why when we enter spaces we don't feel radiance, and sometimes we can feel ugly or small, but it's because we don't understand the importance of just spending quality time with ourselves in the morning. In the morning, you should adore yourself. At home, you should feel adored. Your routines should be a part of your adornments. Your friendship, your standards, your beauty rituals, your inner dialogue, all should reflect the fact that you are adorning on yourself. Because adornment is a frequency. And the more you normalize being treated like something precious, the more other people will normalize treating you as such. And that's when the real magic happens. That's when the shift happens. It is when chaos no longer excites you. You know, you don't like things that are people, when people are being inconsistent or neglectful, you start realizing that the peace that you have in your life is beautiful. You start realizing that care is attractive, because no many people confuse emotional depravity with depth, which is insane. But being adored is not confusing. It doesn't cause confusion. Being adored feels clear. It feels like you are, you know, it's when people consider you, when they notice you, when they hear about your feelings or the outcome of what you have going on in your life. So we must minimize how people mistreat us, don't trust us. And I know that sometimes the familiar can be familiar, but if you stay in the familiar, then you're going to start repeating old wounds, and that's not what we want. So, to let our goodness land, we must allow our own beauty to touch our hearts, right? So, to let all the good things happen to us, we must allow ourselves the opportunity to have good things. Let someone say you are extraordinary, and instead of deflecting or shrinking or denying it, breathe it in, allow it. Say I am. Not in a condescending way, but you could say it in your own subconscious mind, because that is when you stop needing validation. A lot of times people are like, "Oh no, don't worry. Thank you so much. I appreciate it." All the good stuff. But really and truly, it is your own magnetism, it is your own self-love that causes people to say that in the first place. So they're saying it because it actually exists for you. So learn to receive it. I think self reverence is alignment. A rose does not apologize for being beautiful. Gold does not call itself ordinary to seem relatable. Sacred things do not need permission to shine, and you are sacred. You are built to be adored because there is something about womanhood that is intrinsically golden. As a woman, you are the altar, you are the atmosphere, you are the memory, because you have a womb, you came from a womb. So all the things that exist in this world came from a woman. You are the rhythm, you are the sensation. You are you are the ultimate form of creation. So your exhaustion and disappointment right now in your life is not your main identity. A flower in the wrong climate is not ugly, it's unsupported. So you have to learn to surround yourself with things that like make sense. If your job is causing you stress, you need to find another job or change careers or work towards changing careers, because that stress is going to turn to cancer in your body and you don't need that. This is why standards matter so much, because standards are not about being told, standards are about understanding that you are a sacred being. This is how I am spoken to, is what you have to say. This is what I do, what I don't do. This is how I handle situations, and this is what I will normalize, and this is what I never call again. Standards protects the part of you that knows you were made for more. And adornment is a part of having standards. Because attention is cheap, reverence is rare. A lot of people will want access to you, but they can't have it. Would they know if they had access to you how to handle your divinity, how to handle your own softness? Would they know how to respect you in such a way where, that is how you chose to be respected? That is what you choose or what you want for your life? Only you can determine that for yourself. Because if the problem is not your worth, then the answer is not self erasure. The answer is better selection. So you treat yourself better, have better standards, change your environments, have better rituals, and tell a different story for yourself. Now, I am a huge proponent of like journaling. A lot of my ideas that I journal down here, like you guys know, I uploaded to ChatGPT, and like it creates this little outline for me that I love. But these are definitely all my thoughts. So because a lot of women have a private story that sounds like, oh, I'm being too much, or I care too much, I do too much, I'm too emotional, too romantic, too everything. But what if the story is false? What if you're not too much? What if your softness was never was never the problem? Then that changes the conversation, right? Then your soul has to remember how you should be treated, and you will be treated the way that you want to be treated. So knowing that you need to nourish yourself, because when a woman knows herself, she stops being easily manipulated by the things around her. She chooses better. She values her mind and her time better. Her life is more valuable. I want to let you know, looking into your own life, you need to say, I see who I am. I see what I've survived. I am luminous. I am a rarity. The way that you keep becoming every day does not go unnoticed, and that you are beautiful and you are sacred. Because when you see yourself clearly, you know exactly who you are when you're looking in the mirror. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here. There's so much that is like in this like note section because ChatGPT really ate this up. It ate it up. But I want to remind you that you are allowed to be beautiful. You are allowed to be all the things that you want to be. And I hope that you don't let the world around you suppress your thoughts or your ideas or your desires. I hope that you allow yourself to be true to yourself and to look in the mirror and be reminded that you are the baddie that you think you are. Okay, my goddesses, as always, it is done. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my subscribers. I just love you guys. It means a lot to me. It doesn't go unnoticed. Please know that when you subscribe and you watch my videos, it doesn't go unnoticed because you could be spending time somewhere else and you're here with me. And so I want to let you know that I appreciate you. Bye.